Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Avataranucharitam.
Avataranucharitam.
Harichayanuvartinam.
Harichayanuvartinam.
Pumsam Isha Katha Prokta.
Pumsam Isha Katha Prokta.
Akyanopabhrimhitaha.
Natyanoprabhrimhitaha.
Avataranucharitam.
Avataranucharitam.
Asyanuvartinam.
Harichayanuvartinam.
Pumsam Isha Katha Prokta.
Pumsam Isha Katha Prokta.
Akyanopabhrimhitaha.
Natyanoprabhrimhitaha.
Avatarancharitam.
Avataranucharitam.
Asyanuvartinam.
Harichayanuvartinam.
Swamisha Katha Prokta.
Pumsamisha Katha Prokta.
Akyanopabhrimhitaha.
Natyanoprabhrimhitaha.
Avatarancharitam.
Avataranucharitam.
Asyanuvartinam.
Harichayanuvartinam.
Swamisha Katha Prokta.
Pumsamisha Katha Prokta.
Akyanopabhrimhitaha.
Natyanoprabhrimhitaha.
Hello, Mataji, like to chant. Yes, Aishwarya Mataji, like.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंड प्रणाम। अवतारानुचरितं हरेशस्यानुवर्तिनं पुंसाम् ईश कदा प्रोक्ता नानाज्ञानोपभ्रमितः।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। अवतारानुचरितं हरेशासायुनवर्तिनां पुंसामीश कथा प्रोक्ता नानाज्ञानोपभृतहम्। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा। अवतारानुचरितं हरेश्चास्यानुवर्तिनां पुंसामीश कथः प्रोक्ता नानाख्यानोपभ्रमितः। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम। अवतारानुचरितं हरे सचानु अवरीतं पुंसाम ईशा कथा प्रोक्ता नानाख्यानोपभृतिः। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
अवतारानुचरितं हरेश्चास्यानुवर्तिनां पुंसामीश कथा प्रोक्ता नानाख्यानोपबृंहिताः।
अवतारानुचरितं हरेश्चास्यानुवर्तितां पुंसामीशा कथाः प्रोक्ता नानाख्यानोपबृंदिताः। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। अवतारानुचरितं हरेश्चास्यानुवर्तिनां पुंसाम् एषा कथा प्रोक्ता नानाख्यानोपबृंहितः। हरे कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। अवतारानुचरितं हरे एष कथान् प्रोक्त नानाख्यानोपभ्रमित।
Thank you, Mataji. Avatara, incarnation of Godhead, Anucharitam, activities, Hare, of the personality Godhead, Cha, also Asya, of his, Anuvartina, followers, Pumsam, of the persons, Isha Kataha, of the signs of God, Proktaha, is said, Nana, various Akhyana, narrations, Upabrimhitaha, described. The science of God describes the incarnation of the personality Godhead and its different activities together with the activities of his great devotees. The science of God describes that. The science of God describes the incarnation of the personality Godhead and the different activities together with the activities of his great devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam. Purport. During the course of the existence of the cosmic manifestation, the chronology of history is created, recording the activities of the living entities. People in general have a tendency to learn the history and narrations of different men and times, but due to lack of knowledge in the science of Godhead, they are not apt to study the history of the incarnations of the personality of Godhead. It should always be remembered that the material creation is created for the salvation of the conditioned souls. The merciful Lord, out of his causeless mercy, descends to various planets in the material world and acts for the salvation of the conditioned souls. That makes the history and narrations worth reading. Srimad Bhagavatam offers such transcendental topics to the Lord in relationship with great devotees. Therefore, the topics of the devotees and the Lord are to be given respectful oral reception. Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashad Devshatahari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Avataranucharitam Hare Chasyanu Vartinam Pumsami Shikata Prokta Nana Kyanopabrimhitaha. Science of God describes the incarnation of the personality of God in different activities together with the activities of the great devotees. So in Bhagavatam, we have this opportunity. In Bhagavad Gita, there is no narration of the different pastimes of God. There was no time, and the whole focus was to convince Arjuna to fight. So Krishna talks about certain principles. Now he didn't say, Arjuna, wait a minute, I'll tell you a story of Narsimha and Prahlad, and the Lord spent hours and hours about it. No, there was no time for that. Where 7 days of hearing of Bhagavatam by Shukamani, there was a narration of the Lord's pastime. In fact, there also narration is very short, but still Prabhupada is so all beautiful, long purport makes it so much understandable. Otherwise, there is a discussion, definitely, of all different pastimes of the Lord. So many chapters are used. Interesting, the fact is that every incarnation of God has 1 chapter, 2 chapters, 3 chapters, but Krishna, 90 chapters. And each chapter is also very big. In fact, Krishna Leela comes in the Dasham Skanda of Bhagavatam. And it is actually 1/3 of Bhagavatam roughly. You see by volume also, there are 4 fat books. That is Dasham Skanda. And actually by Shloka count, you see that around 1/3 of whole Bhagavatam is the Dasham Skanda. So the Bhagavatam is, that's what it is doing. And Prabhupada says that how it is utilized, because we have a tendency to hear about somebody else. That's our nature. You know what happened there? What happened? Even when you're taking class, when you're talking philosophy, people tend to sleep. But suddenly you start talking about, what happened there. Immediately people get woken up because that's more interesting. So in Kali Yuga, Prabhupada said Puranas are therefore more important than Vedanta. But too much philosophy, people are not interested to hear. But if you combine some stories, some example, become very attractive to hear and understand. So we are just dovetailing the tendency of people to hear about Krishna, hear about something to make them hear about the Lord. Like in the market, there are thousands of magazines, thousands of books. We have to just replace them with Krishna conscious books. Then the world is benefited. Prabhupada says the unfortunate victims of the nonsense books that is society of Graham Katha. There are 2 kinds of kathas. One katha is called Krishna Katha, we are talking about the Lord and his activities with his devotees. One is called Grama Katha, meaningless activities of this world. So, what do you want? Somebody who's totally Krishna conscious, that Piba the Bhagavata Rasmalem Ahom Hu Rashika Bhavavukaha Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukat Amrita Vasamutam. This Bhagavatam is the nectar coming from the mouth of Shukamuni. Piba the Bhagavata Rasmalem. Please drink this Bhagavata Rasa. Aho Muhu Rasika Bhavavukaha. O expert in drinking prasad, drink Bhagavata Rasa. So those who are intelligent, they develop taste for hearing. Therefore, there is a shloka again in the Bhagavatam. It is said, it's just wasting time. If you're not practicing religion for a long time, if you are practicing religion for a long time, you're not finding any taste. Shamevi kevala. Dharma sanushtha pumsa vikshakshena katasu yaha na utpati ratirati shamevi kevala. Just waste of time if you're not developing rati, taste to hear about the Lord. And that is the most important proof of spiritual advancement. Develop some love and taste about Krishna consciousness. So Krishna gives an opportunity. Krishna knows that people are only hearing Gramakatha by this, the Shruti Phala. What is a Shruti Phala? By hearing Gramakatha, you go to hell. Because you develop such kind of nasty desires by association with unwanted people. But when you start hearing Bhagavatam, the advantage is you become purified. That's a Shruti Phala. Become purified by hearing about Krishna, and we desire to go back to Krishna Loka. And that is why Krishna is inviting us. So Krishna makes it easy for us. He comes to this world, he enacts wonderful, amazing pastime that only he can do. He brings his great devotees to show pure love for his devotees, such wonderful exchanges. We're hearing about that, we get more and more attracted, go to the abode of the Lord, and we get chance to replace all of Gramakatha by Krishna Katha. We hear. It's like so many nonsense novels they make. Can't even remember the names of them. Harry Potter. Such nonsense, waste of time, hallucination. They know it's hallucination. And that people read few million copies. And here is Krishna book. Why don't you read that? You read. But as you start reading, you hear about the glories of God, the heart will get purified. And Srila Prabhupada gives such playful attention to describe Krishna Leela. So when you read Krishna book, it's very nicely understood and person is liberated. So that is the point here. The opportunity to hear Krishna Katha should be given in form of life, and that is done in the terms of Bhagavatam by Shukamuni. We take advantage of that and gradually replace our Grama Katha by Krishna Katha. So what is happening in Bhagavatam is that there is Bhagavad Katha, there is Krishna Katha, and in this world there is Grama Katha. Now why is it somebody get interested in Grama Katha? I'll speak about that today. And then we come back to Krishna Katha. Why somebody gets attracted to Grama Katha? The reason is he has some material desire. Just like somebody is the pure Vaishnava, they only hear about Krishna Bhakti, Piba the Bhagavatam Rasamalaya, because he is drinking the Bhakti Rasa in every line of Bhagavatam or he's chanting, he's drinking Bhakti Rasa. He is accustomed to that. So he will do that. That is a Vaishnava. Come to Brahmana. Brahmana is also has no material desire. Even he will hear about no material Grama Katha. Why you get interested? Oh, this man made such a big building, that's the news. You're interested. Why you're interested? Because you are interested in having a big building. Or this man got married to this actress. Why you're interested? Because you are also thinking who will marry this. Perhaps I can marry. You are getting, because you are interested, because your heart is not pure. Therefore, you are interested in Grama Katha. That shows what is your interest. A devotee get interested to hear about Krishna Katha because he want to go to Krishna Loka. But we are interested in the material world. Artificially, we are trying to keep away. And then, Mithyachara Sochate. You want to give up. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, you are a hypocrite. You are saying you want to give up, but your mind is dwelling on sense objects. So the mind keeps rotating and we get destroyed. So this is our Gramikatha. Just like in afternoon time, all the ladies gather together. They talk about, this person is like that. There's another person, that's his son has got seat in this college. They're just talking and wasting their time. So that is the nature of Gramikatha. The Gramikatha is just ordinary village talks. It's a waste of time. I told you once, now Shruti Phala. Suppose somebody is explaining about Gramikatha and he's a sinful person. His vibration is very dangerous. Suppose I say, I smoke and it was wonderful. It will have little impact on you. But suppose I have a great enjoyment in smoking and I'm speaking. You know how nice it is? In that words, there is the power to destroy your spiritual life. Because it's the realized statement of a fool. And loaded with the Mahamaya. It was so nice. I smoked a cigarette and you're listening to it submissively because of your foolishness. Maybe it looks handsome, maybe it's smart. You have some respect for him for no reason. Therefore, if somebody is not a devotee, Prabhupada used to say, in heart, we don't speak externally. In heart, he's a rascal. Straight. You should have zero respect for him. Because if you have respect for him, he is not a devotee, then what will happen? You'll absorb from him unwanted things. Correct? Somebody is speaking, you're hearing respectfully, and that Shabda will come with the power it is there. Dhyayate Vishya Pumsa Sangaste Shubhajayate Sangha Sanjayate Kama Kama Kota Vijayate Kodad Vavati Sammoha Sammoha Spiti Vikrama Dimam Shad Putinasha Putinasha Pranashati. He's fallen down. He's an addict. And he tells, I smoked, it was so nice. His words are loaded with fall down. He'll make you fall down 1 second. Even though you don't have to, you have to go through, otherwise, suppose you have to get addicted. You go through stages. First you think about smoking, then you get attached to smoking. But if you hear somebody who has realized simple habits, he will drag you down in a second. That's what happens in hostels where the boys stay. One person drags another person down, he drags other person down. That's what they do. Realized it. In 5 minutes, he becomes a drunkard. The realized it. Now come to spiritual life, same privilege is there. Now suppose we chant Hare Krishna. We attentively chant Hare Krishna. You attentively chant Hare Krishna. What happens? Shraddha, then you get sadhu sangha, then you get bhajana kriya, then you get anartha nivritti, then you get nishtha. Slowly you're advancing. But somebody is in the stage of ruchi. He says chanting Hare Krishna is nectar. And you're listening to submissiveness. He makes you advance 5 stages in one second. Over. Love matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. That's the statement of the Shastra. Sadhu sangha is very important. Why? By one moment, lava is not even a second, one fraction of a second. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. You see his happiness in chanting Hare Krishna. You associate with that. He give you the realization in a second. Over. Your years and years of effort are finished because he gave you knowledge with realization. Full package he has given you. Similarly, sinful activities can also be given with realization. Therefore, we should not hear to vibration from a sinful person. Because heart, see, a man is nothing but set of habits. Another way to look at it, mind control. What is any person? The person is nothing but set of habits. Good habits, bad habits. He has a habit to get up early in the morning. Good habit. He has a habit to smoke. Bad habit. Every person is set of habits. After some 10-15 days, you know everybody's habits. Correct? Any person in the metal world also, he is a drunkard. He is a smoker. He watches cricket all day. He watches movie all day. We know his person with the habits. Person is nothing but set of habits. Some good habits, some bad habits. Correct? Our freedom is restricted. Apart from our freedom is habits. Mostly a person can, he will do like that because they know his habits are like that. Now, therefore, habits show us some kind of addiction. What is habit? Basically, kind of addiction. Good habits, bad habits. A devotee has good habits. You associate with devotees, you catch good habits. Just like germs travel, bacteria travel from one body to another, our desires travel from one heart to another. Just like coronavirus is spreading from one heart to another. but it will finish after your death. Next life, there's no coronavirus. But if you get one wrong desire from a sinful person, many lives will be spoiled. One wrong desire, let me do this sinful activity. You will die. Suppose drinking, you will die, your liver will be finished, kidney will be finished. The desire is not gone away. It is there in the subtle mind. Next life also you'll start drinking very soon. You'll destroy your many lives. Potentially more dangerous than viruses, a bad desire. It will destroy your many, many lives. One wrong desire you pick up, you can destroy your whole spiritual life. One wrong desire. True? That's why Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, even one of the roaming senses can destroy your spiritual life. Even one. Not all are needed. Correct? There was one person who used to never study. So I see. You do it? You think? Yeah. Are you watching? Are you intoxicating? No. Are you gambling? No. Are you eating meat? No. Are you relating a woman outside marriage? No. So I just could not understand what's wrong with him. Why is he not studying and why his behavior is so different than a normal person? Devotee means humble, he's pleasant to be. Can't sit him for 5 minutes. He's watching cartoon whole day. So some silly habits is there. Correct? They try to find an excuse. Because we say 4 regulative principles. I'm not breaking regulative principles. I'm just watching cartoon. So we can find excuses this way and that way. Arey Baba, there are 2 rules. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Both have to go together. What kind of remembrance of Krishna is there when you're watching cartoon? Correct? But they will try to fit. I didn't break a regulative principle. I'm chanting 16 rounds. What he's doing? What is the use of his chanting 16 rounds? He's wasting his time. What he has understood? What he has understood? He has not understood Krishna consciousness. There is no realization. He's just chanting like a parrot. He's not gone inside his heart. If he's wasting his time in so many things, that means he has not understood spiritual life. It's just when you're sitting in the room, there is a background music. When you go to hotels, you sit, or restaurants, or you're sitting in a bus and traveling, there's a background music. His japa is like a background music. That's all. But he's chanting attentively, he will not do his foolish activity. So we have to be very attentive to what I'm doing, very careful. And then we will advance in spiritual life. Otherwise, the wrong associations, because it says a great calamity when the heart of a devotee gets attracted to some kind of material enjoyment, it's a calamity. Because then the simplicity of the devotee will be lost. See, the devotee, the greatest quality is simple. Simple. But you become duplicitous when you have other program other than satisfaction of Krishna. Other than satisfaction of Krishna, when you have developed other program, you become duplicitous. Now you have 2 things. One thing is Krishna, one thing is personal, some desire. Correct? That is called duplicity. Duplicity means he sees something, he means something. Very difficult to deal with such a person. The devotee remains simple till his heart is pure and he has avoided any unwanted desire. So you should be very careful. And then I will end with one beautiful example. Once I asked a devotee, I repeated so many times, but many audience are new, that will be useful to them. I asked a devotee, how do I come out of Gramika? That's so attractive because just like, TV, they put that serial Mahabharata, so attractive. If you've seen, very difficult to take eyes out of that. All lot of music, there is so much visual effects. Wow, we want to watch fight between Arjuna and this. We get difficult to take eyes off it. We enjoy it. But we know it's a waste of time and we learn nonsense things because they don't present the Shastras properly. So how do you take? So there is various shlokas in Bhagavatam. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pati shloka bhativati api namani antasya yasho ankatani shanvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. He said the devotees will take pleasure. Those who are honest, even if the presentation has grammatical mistake, spelling mistake, that is called mistake in every word. But there is a sincere desire to glorify the Lord. Somebody is telling he went to Vrindavan, one devotee taking class in English. And we could see he doesn't know English properly. But still we were enjoying because he could feel for the devotee. Correct? On the other hand, somebody may be very metaphorically every way attractive, but he is not a devotee. What's the use of hearing? So similarly, all this TV serials, they may be doing all this very well, very nice stage. You can't do all this. They spend crores of rupees on every serial. What do they use at the end of the day? Because they are not devotees. No? So we should be able to withdraw. So I asked this question, how to pull the mind away? Maya is very attractive, and one of the agents of Maya, when Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, Prabhupada saw 1960s people hearing radio in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the holiest of the place. There they hearing cricket commentary. Remember, as the small children we used to hear, not seen those days. We have seen. Our time there was no mobile. There were small radios, and we used to put battery and hear cricket commentary. Sometimes you steal that within a school also, and really hear it. So Prabhupada saw that in Vrindavan that happening. So Prabhupada say it's a laughter of Maya. They're sitting in Vrindavan, but hearing cricket and radio and cricket. The same way, when the Maya traps you in some Grame Katha, it's a trap. She is laughing. Pakada gaya. Maya is only testing you. Maya business is not to harm you, it's testing you. You want Krishna or you want Maya. Therefore, Prabhupada says those who are devotees, they read Bhagavatam. Those who are karmis, they read newspaper. So now coming back, a Brahmana, he's not interested. Just like Srila Prabhupada, the pure saint, he used to say, yeah, what is the news? Morning time, they will, Prabhupada will ask every day, they will read the news in 5 minutes and go. That's it. That's all. Something he has to know. He's leading a worldwide movement. You have to know what's happening in the world. 5 minutes. Yeah, go. Sometimes something into why that news is there. What is that? Just explain it. Yeah, that is it. Okay, go. That's it. Time is saved. As well you start, there's no end. They're 24-hour news channel. You'll be sitting whole day only. And their idea is what? To make it very attractive. The world is going to end now. There was once, I remember, we're traveling in a train. So we got up in the morning, I say 6 o'clock, some long time ago. I was a Karmi that time. So one person entered the train. And he said, the Prime Minister resigned. Prime Minister resigned. Something, some big news. Shishir Radha Govinda ki. So all of us got up. What happened? He resigned. Something like tamasha. Somebody is dead. Or everybody got up. 2 rupees. Pat sold. Everybody jumped from the train. Went. Nothing like this. Such whole newspaper. Nothing like that. So that's what they try to do. Create some sensation. Something had happened. World is ending now. So we feel very attractive. And we give up our Krishna Katha, our chanting. What happened? And we get absorbed. And there's no end to reading because we are Grama Katha. So there was one devotee who gave a very nice example. He said that when Ravana was fighting with Rama, when the war was going on, he one day came to Mother Sita in the night. And he gave her a duplicate head of Lord Rama. He had siddhis. He created an exact duplicate head. He told Sita, your husband is dead. Now he accepts me. I killed him. Now, Mother Sita was quite pained because in the beginning she thought as if he has created something factual. But still she never accepted him. And one of the person there later told him, I think, Vibhishana's wife or somebody was still there at Ashoka Vatika, somebody told him, don't worry, this fellow is creating some drama for you. He has the powers to do that. Your husband is quite fine and is fighting the war. Now you see what was the intention of his? To somehow attract the attention away from Lord Rama. But Mother Sita, you cannot shake her. She is always chanting. But we get shaken. They create a sensation. The world has ended. India is finished. India is finished. One idiot is throwing ball. Another idiot is hitting ball. How India is finished by that? You win or lose the match. Do you think it makes any matter? It's just an entertainment. If you have nothing to do, you sit on that. But don't distract other people by saying India is finished. We think, just like say, there is a match going between England and Australia. Do we watch the match? Why we are very interested in India matches? They say football. Why they watch my country football? Because they think I belong to that country. And my country is finished now. I lost the match. My country is going to win. Not only that, people go around temples for praying for their country to win. Correct? So much is said with the country. So all this actually is because of a wrong association. we should also, very important to take out of Grama Katha, is very important not to take sides, even political. Just like we being in Krishna conscious sometimes tend to take side of Hindu parties. Please don't take any side. If Krishna is there, take side. They themselves don't know what is Krishna, what they will benefit the world. Suppose Krishna is fighting a war. We are interested in Mahabharata because Krishna is involved. If Krishna is not there, don't put your heart there. It's a waste of time. They cannot do any good to the world. In name of doing good, they'll do bad only. Just like the TV serial maker. What did they achieve finally? In the name of doing good, confuse people. Their hero is not Arjuna, their hero is Karna. Such a joke they made of the Mahabharata. No, we read whole Bhagavatam. That fellow's name is not there in whole Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. Why will Vedavyas miss it if he was of any importance? He's a demon of previous life. This got good, life is good, finally got killed by a devotee. Good. When you get killed by a devotee, like Kamsa was killed, Shishupal, that's a good thing. Demon is killed by the Lord or his devotee, that is auspicious. That's all. To talk about it. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna used one word, he will be killed. That's all. Doesn't even Bhagavatam, one word is also not there. His name itself is not there anywhere. But somehow these idiots don't have any knowledge. They create confusion in society instead of doing any service. Okay? Did they achieve anything? No. They could not achieve anything. So similarly, we should be very careful not to get lost in the Grama Katha. It will not help you at all. So the Grama Katha exists in different varieties. It distracts us in different ways. And we should see that they don't cheat us in the sense that India is finished or you are finished. You know, Krishna is in control. And therefore, another tendency is kind of a news takes a kind of a gambling. What happened? What happened? What happened? In a day, people read, can keep it on for 20. What happened? What happened? I'm just saying the different way Grama Katha attracts you. And what happened? What happened? Krishna is in control. Why are you bothered? Correct? That means you have no faith Krishna is in control. They agitate the mind. Just like when people buy shares and whole day the share value has gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down. Let me sell, let me buy. The average time, I was shocked. Today they released a few days ago, average time people hold share is 40 seconds. Such is the level of speculation going on in share. Can you imagine? They're having softwares and programs to buy and sell, artificially increase and decrease the value. They play with stock market. Innocent man just is like a pawn in their hand. So we should therefore come out of this speculation and never take sides. Once you take a side, then every day is my party winning or losing. But that, Dvanda is going on, like cricket match or political parties. Prabhupada used to say, actually, Indians are wasting too much of their time on politics. That's average. Everybody talks about politics. Even in the village level, there is politics today. But at least as a devotee, we shouldn't come out of any Dvanda. Suppose you could take Dvanda between India and Pakistan. Just giving one example. Every day Pakistan makes a statement against us. That we feel bad. And India makes a counter statement. We feel very happy. Then you're reading what India made a statement, what Pakistan made a statement. You lost as Dvanda. Whole life you absorbed Pakistan. Next life you'll be born in Pakistan. That's how the result, because you're only thinking about that whole life. So that is not good. So don't hold Dvanda political parties. They make a statement. They won. You are wishing they will. Cricket match. You want your country to win. What they made a statement. Correct? Again and again. So we get lost into some Dvanda. Te Dvanda mohan nirmuktam bhajante mam dhirdavata. We can advance the spiritual life when we become free from any Dvanda. So to stop watching news, one of the things is come out of Dvanda. Second thing, come out of this gambling habit. What happened? What happened? Have faith. Krishna is in control. Or something we should know about everything, and everything we should know about something. But if you're not properly trained, we spend all our time in Grama. What happened? What happened? What happened? Whole life goes into it. We have no time to hear about Krishna. Correct? What happened? I'm a servant of Krishna. Krishna is in control. Something we have to know about everything. Prabhupada is the best example of everything. 5 minutes. Therefore, I saw one temple, they banned anybody hearing news. In the notice board, they put the main headline. That's it. So time is saved. Otherwise, I remember some temples they did like different ways. Devotees can mature, protect themselves. Just say, I know the headline. That's it. Close it. Otherwise, it's no end. You get sucked into that. Because your desire for enjoyment, because your weakness, what happened, because you have already taken sides. What is this party saying? What is that party saying? They won, that one, lost. And then not only that, Prabhupada said the problem in newspapers, everything taught, and then put a picture of girl naked. They know that's the weakness of people. They'll catch people by that. The joke they do. They say there is this problem. 1 lakh people today died by corona. Oh, wow. Then they will tell 50 people died of bomb blast. Oh, they will create sensational news. That's what the headlines will be. Flood happened, 30,000. Oh, my. So that's what they will do. And after that, okay, what is the solution? You can drink. A new actress come for a movie. Enjoy, see her. So basically, tell problems. And after that, don't tell solution. And give an intoxication as a solution. Is this reasonable? Take an example. In a house, small children are there. You tell them. And children are smiling, laughing. Small, say 5-year-old child. Very great danger now. China may attack us anytime. And Pakistan will also support probably. The small child is not able to sleep now. There is theft happening in the city. Why are you disturbing him? Isn't it wrong? Actually, the news people should not even read. It is not for them. It is only for the king. Why people are reading news today? It's actually wrong. They are not entitled. I asked a person who's very successful. I said, tell me your reason for success. He told me, I take only that information for which I can do something about. I do not interested in any information for which I cannot do anything about. Today, actually, it is like this. There is so much information overload. People get crushed by the news of the world. Now, suppose you are an innocent man. You get up in the morning. It's a holiday time, 10 o'clock. Start now. And you want to know what's happening. Okay, that's happening. That 50,000 people in the world that are doing that. Oh, in Burma, they have removed. They're taken over the power. Oh, there is no end to that. There is so much information really crushed. That's called information overload, a psychological problem. And then you get exhausted. Everything takes energy. There was one person I know, he was terminated from the college. And he was here for a few days. Why was good? I said, why you got terminated? I said, I failed so many courses. College said it's beyond all limit to tolerance. They have terminated from the college. I said, tell me what is the reason? He said, no, sir, his life is pure. Why it happened? Everything looks good about the boy. Why is he got terminated from the college? Then he was there for a few days here. I watched whole day he was reading. Whole day. And I could see in his face. So much exhaustion because it takes energy of the mind. Information when you are trying to acquire exhausts your energy. Correct? So how much information you need, you should be very careful. That information for which you can do something about. For Vishnu, he has to know everything. You are a small jiva. Don't try to imitate God. But today what has happened, we are imitating God in every angle, including collecting it. I want to know. Prabhupada used to joke in America, the newspaper dysfunction. Because they have a feeling they have the superpower. They want to know what's happening in Sri Lanka. They want to know what's happening. And they have their embassies. Recently was shown sometime when the big leaks or some leaks were releasing. The CIA or the embassies, every information the country they send. Looks like this party will not last long. Everything, they are superpower. And the people also want to know. So imagine how much the news overload can be fallen on us. So king has to know. Why we have to know? But why people want to know? They're not king. They're kingmaker. The wrong system of practice we have today, democracy, which Prabhupada says called demon goes crazy. Nonsense system. Every person in the street thinks he's a kingmaker. He may be beggar, but he has political views and he's a kingmaker. Kingmaker. So that is how the whole thing lies. And different ways. So our time should be kept on hearing about the Lord. These all hearing about the Lord is loaded with Shruti Phala. By hearing about different pastimes of the Lord, we are in touch with the Yoga Maya. Because all activities of the Lord are conducted by Yoga Maya. It is imbued by Yoga Maya. When you're hearing activities of people and their statement that is loaded by Mahamaya, we get infected. And activities of the Lord are loaded by Yoga Maya. By hearing of that, our heart becomes purified and we can achieve Krishna's service. Hare Krishna. Yes, Aishwarya Mataji, some realizations, hearing Krishna Katha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Like listening and listening. Yes, Prabhuji, like Prabhupada always says, hearing Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So hearing is very, very important for us because we need to water our Bhakti Lata beach, otherwise it will dry off. So that's why Krishna gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth to hear more and talk less. So Rupa Goswami says, I want to have millions and billions of ears and tongue in order to hear and chant the Lord's holy name. And we are so unfortunate that we don't develop the taste for hearing. But people think it's developing automatically. No, it's said that we keep hearing, then we develop the taste for hearing. First, we should hear, then we develop the taste for hearing. So, as we know, many devotees like Rukmini and Parikshit Maharaj heard, and then they realized. Prahlad Maharaj started hearing from the womb of his mother. So that's why we should realize Lord through our ears. This said, Srinvadam Satatam Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayandasya Bhadrani Vitanodi Sugrutsudam. Like if we hear all the negative things in our heart is cleaned. And once when some devotees were not able to go to Kumbh Mela, Prabhupada said, going to Kumbh Mela is not just to take a dip in the holy river, it's to go and hear from a sadhu about Krishna. So Kumbh Mela is happening in all ISKCON temples at 8 a.m. because we are all hearing Krishna Katha. So this is a real Kumbh Mela, that's what Prabhupada says. And once when he was giving lecture, many of the devotees, they got up and they went for some service in the temple. And Prabhupada was like, what service will they do without hearing about Krishna? So in order to have that sincerity in our service, we should hear about Lord. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear Bhagavatam every day and cry, especially the 7th canto of Prahlad Maharaj's teachings, Prabhupada have translated it so beautifully. The whole canto, we should definitely read about Prahlad Maharaj's teachings. And in that, about Shravanam is given in detail. So many pages Prabhupada have translated only about Shravanam. I think that's the first step towards bhakti. And we should always develop that habit of hearing. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Anything to add? Any questions? Anybody? Okay, I'll make it publicly open. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna Prabhuji.
What did you like today?
Prabhuji, like bad association leads to bad habits, good association leads to good habits.
Oh, very nice. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mana. Chalo, we close today. Vancha kalpatarubhacha. Anand Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna Prabhuji.